Good day, Las Vegas. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon. It is afternoon because it's 1 minute after the 12 o'clock noon. And my name is Rolando Larraz with Face the Tribune. If you have nothing to worry about, if you're not doing anything wrong, you can face the Tribune very, very well. But if you do, you're going to be in trouble with the Tribune. With me today is my co-host, Mr. Clark Kelly, Philly.
Man, oh man, you need a script with the right.
you know, let me tell you, I run into somebody yesterday and said, well, I thought you don't like to talk in the radio. I said, no, I don't like to talk in the radio because my accent. But I go back and I switch station, the radio, you listen to Alan Stark, you listen to Kevin Wall, you listen to Heidi Harris, you listen to all these people, and they are American born, American race, and they speak.
The natural born?
They are natural born. That's what they said. I don't know. Oh. I don't know them that well. But I don't know. I think their English is as confusing as mine because they go with the every time is something different, and I don't know. But
I wonder if those words, the uhs and the oohs, are on their teleprompter. I wonder.
Did they have a teleprompter?
I don't know.
I don't have it. I am, like you said, I am like Donald Trump.
Oh, you don't
I don't need a teleprompter. That was the worst thing you can do to me. Tell me then I act like Donald Trump.
Oh, you don't need a teleprompter. That was a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment. That's why I'm saying my ego went up.
Yeah.
My ego went up.
All I do in life is give people compliments.
Yeah.
I'm famous for that.
Would be I was, somebody said, well, he made the money because his father left him $1 million. Well, some people may have $1 million and blew it in the tables. It's not the first time somebody loses.
Or it goes up their nose in 1 week.
Or they go out into the motel room with a sleazy woman. He was smart enough to do it.
To make it into 10 billion. 1 million's a long way from 10 billion.
I know.
He must have done something.
Yeah. And but anyway, going back to reality now, I am glad that you are confusing me with Donald Trump. I like that.
Well, it means you're very presidential, like he is.
Very presidential, yes.
Right.
Anyway, I hear that he might not show up in the next debate.
I think he's flexing his muscles. I believe next Thursday or something.
Yeah, next Thursday.
I think he's flexing his muscles, letting Kelly. What's her name? Kelly. Megyn Kelly, putting her on notice that he is not going to put up with any of these got you questions from her that she was famous for in the first debate. He's just putting her on notice. Go ahead and try it, Kelly. See what happens.
Yeah, but
so he'll show up, and Kelly will be like a lamb. She will not dare to do anything against Trump because the last time she got a week holiday without pay. I understand.
Who is the network that is doing the debate?
Fox News.
Fox News?
Yes.
Why do they put her there?
Because she's on Fox News.
So, is she the only person in Fox News?
No, she's
They can put Andrea in there. They can put Dana. I forgot her name now.
They could have put your girlfriend, Tarantula. Could have put, what's her name that used to be in the White House, Dana.
That's what I mean.
Dana. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
You can't put Wayne Williams because he would ask got you questions.
Ed Williams?
Juan Williams.
Oh, Juan Williams, yeah.
He's a liberal. So he would be
but you have to have a liberal once in a while in there.
Well, why do you have to have a distorted liberal like these CNN Wolf Blitzers and people like that, and Cooper Anderson, that just do one attack question after another, trying to set up the? Why do we even go to their particular debates? It's partial.
It's part of the
partisan.
Game. It's part of the game.
Well, it shouldn't be.
It's like that email that I got today saying that it's possible that Hillary Clinton, the FBI said Hillary Clinton may be indicted. Why? She has not been indicted. Why is she still running for president when she got a corruption up to her nose?
Well, that's my question. Why do we have to? Why does indictment become an issue? Why is she even qualified to even run under the possibility of an indictment?
I have no idea
that I can't
why,
get over. Because she's a liberal.
I have no idea why the media and the government play those kind of games, like the Watergate, Bill Gates, all those
Travelgate, FBI Gate, Vince
Gate.
Foster Gate. You would need a computer or a very big calculator to be able to add up all the gates that the Clinton administration had. And here we are entertaining the possibility that we're going to have another Clinton in the White House. And here's Gates coming already. She hasn't even been nominated.
But I tell you one thing, my friend, I'm getting ready next week to come out with the real Bernie Sanders stand up, because I tell you, that guy is not a socialist. People are wrong with him. He's not a socialist. He is a communist. He is a communist.
Can you explain the definitive difference between the two?
Yeah, it's a one little tiny line in between.
Is that a red line in the sand, or is it?
Yes, it is a very, very narrow line. Well,
it should be easy to go step over that.
Actually, let me tell you the difference between socialist and communist is a socialist is the porch of the house, and the communist is the living room and the rest of the house. Once you get in the porch and you go in, you're done.
Oh,
and I tell you,
I
don't know what the American people think the communist is.
So he's in the house, is what you're
driving, saying. I live over there by Rancho and Alta, somewhere around there.
Right.
Okay? And I was coming out and I saw this beautiful house in a very nice residential area, then with a sign, Bernie. I wonder how long do you think this guy is going to keep that house?
Maybe it was the maid put the sign out there.
But how can the maid put the sign there?
Maybe it's the gardener.
If my maid put a sign in there with Hillary Clinton or any other person, Bernie Sanders or anybody else beside Trump, I will fire her and I will give a bad recommendation. I don't understand why people in this country are so infatuated with the goddamn communists. I don't understand. What is the problem with these people in this country?
Why do you even entertain it? Why is it even a question is what I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just amazing.
Everybody over here, every single person that I meet, they want to improve themselves. They want to get better. They want to get a better house. They want to get a better car. You don't gonna get that with a communist. Why? What is so difficult to understand that?
He's telling you on the debate stage and in rallies that he's going to take 90% of your money as tax.
Shit.
How did other candidates have run on a tax platform of far, far less than that, a very nominal tax increase.
How can you entertain anybody like that?
They get trounced at election time because people don't want to hear that you're going to tax them into oblivion. And he runs on that platform.
Yeah,
that's
but
how clueless these people are.
Let me ask you
They're
something.
Clueless.
What was it, a Roosevelt or no, it wasn't Eisenhower, but it wasn't a president that raised the taxes to up to 70%. I don't know. I'm not that old.
Well, when Reagan got into office, I believe that the tax rate was 70% in some cases. They had that progressive tax in there, but they had loopholes and they had deductions up the yang, so nobody was paying close to 70%. because wealthy people
But the economy was better. That's my point.
Well, because it wasn't 70%.
Oh.
It was just one of these Washington numbers that they put out that are completely fake.
To confuse people.
Oh, absolutely. That's all it is.
And to mislead people
That's
and
all
to
it
trick
is.
people.
Yes, that's what their language
And they
is.
use it when they need to use it against
Exactly.
you. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so I'm not that crazy.
Everything is anti-something. Everybody's anti against whoever is not in their corner. Everything is anti. The court system is anti to a plaintiff that has a good case. Everything is anti. If you take one position, they're going to take another, because that's just the way it is. Nobody can agree with you.
Yeah.
Even when you're right.
I cannot really don't understand, the mentality of some people.
Well, you
I don't
explain.
know what they think about the communist regimes. I don't know what they feel. And, I have read a little bit. I have read books. The communist philosophy, it could be good if they use it the right way. The Max Lenin idea of government, it could be a good thing if they use it that way, but it's not that way. People have to realize the communist is, while democracy is the exploitation of demand by demand, the communist is the exploitation of demand by the government. Right. You don't get paid. You get a card that you can go to the grocery store and
stand
buy.
in line for a loaf of
Stay in
bread.
line. Look at what happened in Venezuela now.
Yeah.
Look what happened in Venezuela.
Everybody can see
the
that
same
happens
thing
all
happened
over.
in Cuba.
It always happens.
It's
it
always.
always happens.
I don't understand why these people can be so brainwashed that they believe that they're going to live better.
People don't live forever. So what you have is, after generation, you have new blood, so to speak. You have younger people that are in the process of being educated by the liberals and the progressives right now, so they won't have a clue by the time they get to voting age, and they won't have a clue when they're in their 20s and 30s either, because they've been indoctrinated, they've been brainwashed.
Yeah. Well,
and unfortunately, by the time they smarten up, they die. So now you have new blood coming up, and the progressives are after them. That when you're born in this country, they're after you, to make you into a potential liberal voter. Yeah. And that's what happens. If people lived forever, you wouldn't have these problems. Because people that would know that it never works. The
same thing that happened with the illegal citizens, or whatever nationality they are, illegal citizens. Hillary Clinton promised that she was going to have immigration reform. Obama twice came out with immigration reform.
You forgot comprehensive. You have to use comprehensive.
What does comprehensive mean?
It means wall
my
to
English
wall.
is not that good.
It means wall to wall.
Wall to wall.
Right.
The only wall that I believe is the one that Donald Trump is going to build.
All these politicians can't wait to use the word comprehensive.
Your car just got in.
Right. It's comprehensive this, comprehensive that. Everything's comprehensive. And they don't even know what comprehensive means. They just use it as a word. It makes them sound so knowledgeable. Comprehensive immigration, comprehensive this, comprehensive reform. What is comprehensive? Ask Obama something. What is comprehensive? They won't be able to give you an answer because it's not on his teleprompter.
He probably don't know what it is.
Of course not. None of them know.
Most of the activists...
When they were trying to impeach Bill Clinton, John Connors from Michigan would get on the microphone and say, I don't believe that what Bill Clinton did rise to the level of a high crime and misdemeanor. This jerk congressman from Michigan doesn't even know what a high crime and misdemeanor is. Doesn't that sound like a conflict of terms to you?
Wait a minute. From Michigan?
Yes.
And he don't know what crime is?
No, he doesn't know what a high crime and misdemeanor is.
Every crime in Michigan is a high crime. What are you talking about?
Here's the point. Connors didn't know what a high crime was. A high crime and a misdemeanor is a conflict of terms, you would think. But a high crime is a crime done by a person in high office. There's nobody higher than President Clinton.
My English was interfering with my knowledge.
And here's a congressman elected, I don't know how many terms at the time, but here's an inebriate elected to Congress that doesn't know what the term high crime is. And he says it doesn't rise to the level. There's no higher level.
Because I used to go in and out of Michigan, Detroit,
I'm sorry about that. Jeez.
West Bloomfield.
Where were you going to visit Cruz's father in Canada?
No.
Windsor,
go,
Canada.
I never go close to the borders.
Oh.
I don't like.
Well, Detroit's right on the border.
I don't like to be confused.
On the other side of the river is Canada.
But maybe they don't give me time to show my ID.
They probably won't let you back in.
Well, no, I don't leave the country nowadays. I remember the days where you used to go anywhere in the world with an American passport and they give you the red carpet. They give you the red carpet anywhere you go. Now it's dangerous to go out of this country with an American passport because you can get killed, you can get kidnapped, you can get taken hostage, you can do. Look at these people. How can anybody in the right mind will go to Iran or Iraq or any of those places where you're gonna get arrested because you look American, not because you are American, but because you look American, because you talk English.
There are some students, not the ones that join up and go over there to actually fight with the ISIS and stuff. I'm talking about students that want to learn. So they go to these areas to learn about the Mideast culture, and they get their heads cut off. Why would they go?
Well, they deserve to get this.
Yes, so stupid, they go into oblivion to try to learn something.
Yeah.
Stay the hell out of there.
Every time somebody get arrested in Venezuela, in Cuba, in Iran, Iraq, Syria, any of those places, they deserve to get arrested and they deserve to get slaughtered over there because they have no business going there whatsoever. If they can be that stupid, they deserve to be slaughtered.
It's like lying down on the train tracks, and taking a nap.
Yeah.
What are you asking for? Trouble.
That's right. I don't believe that they should be that way.
And that comes from Obama. Words settle conflicts, not weapons, is what he said one day. We have to solve these problems in the Mideast with words and ideas. What is he talking about? Why don't you strap yourself down on the railroad tracks and see what happens? See if your words stop the train.
Yeah. Well, look at what happened to that ex-police officer or sergeant or lieutenant or whatever. Then it was involved with the Homeowners Association scandal. His car stopped in the middle of the train on the railroad train, and he died. Accidentally, he died. Tell me that was accidentally. It's like that.
Did they do a blood check on him to see how many drugs had been administered to him to make him knock out?
It's like that attorney, that female attorney, that supposedly, according to the government, they have. It was the leader of the group.
Judicial Watch.
No, the other one, the attorney that was involved with the Homeowners Association.
Oh, yeah.
With that Puerto Rican fat guy, then I don't know if he's in prison now or he talked too much and they give him a free pass. What's his name? Leon Benzer.
Right.
Her and Leon Benzer, she died. The other one then is married to a district attorney. I forgot David, whatever his last name is. He's married to some Spanish lady that work in the district attorney. I gotta start writing all these names down because I don't know if it's my age or it's the light is brightening me in the.
Well, you probably can't keep track of all the corrupted people in this Nevada government. I mean, you need a friggin' one computer won't hold it anymore.
Look,
you need several computers just to hold the names in there of everybody that's corrupt. It's everybody. There's nobody in this system in Nevada that's not corrupt.
And
None.
people, let me tell you, I keep saying you need to bang and hammer in the same nail every day until people realize then they are doing something wrong and they have to pay for. You need to do that at the half an hour show. We're gonna start talking about the local politics and the races for just judicial races and everything else. You need to keep them. If you have something to say, come over here and get your own airtime and get your word out to the people. You need to be able to talk to people and tell them what is wrong with our politics, what is wrong with the country, what is wrong with our city and our state. You need to do that. You need to stop these politicians, professional politicians, jumping from one job to another one, to another one, to another one, and never sign a paycheck in the back.
And they use the fact that they held this office and this office, goes on their resume.
Look at that Victoria Simmons. Look at that Victoria Simmons. She was 5 months in the assembly, and now she wants to be a senator.
Well, they use these positions as they go up the ladder from political position to political position to political, and that goes on their resume as some kind of an accomplishment. That should be the death knell to these people. Wait a minute, you've been a politician too long.
Yeah,
we need to get rid of you because you've become corrupted. And any politician that's in this job and this job and this job becomes corrupted.
Yeah.
Look at Harry Reid.
Said
the chief obstructionist.
Said he's 6 years. Look at the what's his name, Woodward. He got a freeway under his name. He was there for 28 years and a county commissioner. Then, like it or not, is the main entity for this county. They rule this county, and he was there for 28. No wonder he doesn't want to be county commissioner chairman. He didn't need to be a chairman for 28 years. He got everybody in his pocket. He got everybody doing the same thing. And we're gonna talk at the half an hour. We're gonna talk about the local politics. But right now, I wanted to make sure that you people realize what is the dangers of our country if we allow the communists taking over the government in the United States of America.
We lose the country. That's what happened. We lose the country.
Well, we kind of lost the country already, my friend.
Well, then forget about it. It's over.
And that's why I said, if anybody else besides Donald Trump get the presidency, I will quit. I will completely quit everything that has to do with the media, anything that has to do with radio, television, anything. Because
the old expression is you get tired of hitting your head against a wall.
Yeah.
Because you can't win, so you're fighting corruption.
This fight against corruption has cost me my retirement, has cost me a lot of aggravation, has cost me a lot of bad times.
And the corruption just gets worse. So
and it gets worse.
What have you accomplished?
Then you got people like Doug Gillespie saying that I have a conspiracy theory, that I am anti-police, anti-government. I tell you, I am not anti-police, I'm not anti-government. I am anti-police and anti-government corruption, period. And I think it should be a term limit for everybody. And once you get out of your office, you cannot run for another office at least for 10 years. That's the way it should be.
Well, that's done kind of through an education process that once a politician, always a politician, and the voters have to stop that. If you have been a politician in whatever office you're talking about and you run for another, don't elect them. That goes to the standpoint, the only power we have left as the people of this country is the ballot box. And if we give that up or it gets stolen from us by fraudulent illegal elections by the voting machines, then we're really done. But, vote the people out. If you're a career politician, vote them out. There should be nothing such as a career politician, ever. You should never become that entrenched that you're called a career politician. The people have to vote you out before you get there.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And I'd like to remind everybody that at 1 o'clock it will be the Steve Dempsey what is the show?
Well, you can wake up now and listen to this show, Face the Tribune, prior to 1 o'clock. But at 1 o'clock, if you haven't woken up yet, the show's called Wake Up Call.
Wake Up Call.
But I wish you'd wake up now so you can hear the importance of this show. Yeah. And then you can go back to sleep at 1 or stay awake.
And
whatever.
Also, let me remind everybody that after 3 o'clock, we are going to start a new system where we're going to run these shows that we have in the morning. We're going to do it in the afternoon. So at 3 o'clock, it will be Gordon Martinez with open mic. At 3 o'clock,
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock it will be Face the Tribune. 5 o'clock it will be Wake Up Call. And 6 o'clock, while you're sitting at home eating dinner, it will be
The Herd.
Clark Feeley
and then
with the Herd.
And then at 7 o'clock, do they start over again?
I don't know. I have to ask Mr. Producer about that.
They start over again.
Yeah.
That way, after people have gotten home from work, they might be busy till 6 o'clock. So after they get home from work, they can tune in to radiotribune.com, hit on the microphone, and listen to whatever's being broadcast at that time. It may be a repeat of the 11 a.m. show, the 12 show, the 1 show, the 2 show, whatever. So just stay tuned, because we're giving out information that the people of this town need to hear and the people of this country need to hear. This radio show goes all over the country. We're not limited by boundaries of particular areas where people can hear us. We can be heard everywheres.
Yeah, that's one thing good about the internet. And believe it or not, at my age, I never thought I was going to be an internet.
Well, the internet is fabulous, and now the government is doing what? It's trying to get control of the internet, and that will be the beginning of the ending of that, because the government destroys everything that it touches.
Yeah,
everything.
And I tell you, the only way we're going to have the free waves, the free airwave, is if we elected a person that believe in democracy, believe in freedom of the press, believe in the freedom of expression, and the freedom of opinion. The government, then the communists don't believe in any of that. If you disagree with them, you're dead. Boom, they kill you. Or they put you behind bars for the rest of your life. That's the way it is. It happened in Cuba, it happened in Venezuela, it happened in a lot of places where the communists control the government. That's what it is. You know, I don't believe then it's any other way to explain it. Open your eyes. Wake up, America. Wake up, America, because this is the way that we're going to save the country, is by refusing all those enemies of the freedom, of the free world. You know, that's it is. That's the way it is. We're going to take a quick break. Can we take a quick break, Mr. Producer? Where is Mr. Producer? I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, you can.
I'm sure that anybody that listen to, what is it, Mike Levine or
yeah, that's my brother.
That's your brother? Yeah,
Mr.
he looks
Producer,
like you.
Mr. Producer.
He looked like you without the beard.
Mark Levine, yeah. How would you know? Mark hides the producer. He doesn't even call him by name. What's the name
Maybe
of his
he don't
producer?
know the name of the producer.
That could be.
Or maybe he's protecting the
yeah, I wonder
he's protecting
why.
the producer, so he's not gonna get in the same line of fire as he is.
Yeah, I wonder why.
You know, I listen to his show every day. You know, but now that we're gonna have afternoon shows, you have to listen to radiotribune.com. You know, you don't need to be unless you are in your car. Next year, we're going to have cars with...
There's going to be millions of cars next year
Yeah.
with the capability of tuning in a website. And you can then tune in radiotribune.com or whatever other .com you want to listen to, or .net, or any of the dots will all be available over the car radio. And that's one of the developments that's it's already there. It's just not there in numbers yet that are in the millions, but it's going that way.
And remember then at 2 o'clock, Ed Williams, the chairman of the Clark County Republican Party, is going to be a guest in the
Herd.
The Herd. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I forget all those names.
Well, don't
I
forget
even
that
forgot
one.
my name. I even forgot the Face the Tribune.
I know.
I haven't said that one time yet. You are listening to Face the Tribune. You're listening to Radio Tribune, the only free radio station in Nevada.
We've invited Ed Williams over because he has he's intricately involved in the excitement, if you will, of this political season, which I think everybody will have to agree. This, in my lifetime anyways, has really been the most exciting race I can remember because, my God, everything in the world's going on, and it all revolves around this guy that's not a player. You know, he's not supposed to be there. This is supposed to be controlled by the parties, the political parties. You're not supposed to have some outsider that has enough power to actually tell the parties to go pound sand. And that's what we have. And it's refreshing. Thank God we have somebody like that. And the people of this country better appreciate it.
This is what I don't understand. How is that the GOP, the Republican Party of the United States, is so much against Donald Trump?
Power. He represents a problem for the Republican establishment because they're going to have their power is going to take a significant blow.
He represented problem to the whole establishment.
Yes.
You know, not only the Republican, the Democrats would not have a chance.
The Democrats have a problem because they've put up Hillary Clinton, and what did they do to prop her up and make her look good is they put up a despicable candidate communist named Bernie Sanders, and guess what? Hillary's so despicable, Bernie Sanders is winning. Now they're beside themselves. What the hell's going on? They picked the worst candidate ever to compare Hillary to, and he's winning. That's how out of control that party is.
And that's what I base my opinion on. Why is Hillary Clinton allowed to keep running? Why don't the Democrat Party tell, hey, stop, you're not going anywhere?
The Republicans had a senator, I forget his name now, but he was caught with his hand underneath a bathroom stall, I think at some airport, and he had to resign. Because the appearance of impropriety, I guess they were saying he was trying to give a signal to the stall next door that he might have been available for some nefarious contact or something. And they got him out of office.
Nefarious contact?
Nefarious.
Oh.
Like some kind of maybe
homosexual
or something contact. Really? And that was enough to get him out of office. Jim Wright from Texas was a House leader, I believe, a Senate leader, and he was drummed out of office because he was using a book that he had wrote to raise campaign contributions. He was selling the book for more than the price of the book. So he was using that to raise money so he could use it for his campaign contributions.
So if he would have used the book and allow people to give contribution instead of selling the book,
it would
be okay.
There was something going on. Well, no, if there was Libya or some Syria buying the book for $10 million, then that would have been all right. Like Hillary Clinton getting donations to the Clinton Crime Foundation. That's fine. That's fine. But we can't have a senator, a Republican senator, selling his book.
Okay. Now, let's go to the local scene now. We have several judges running for office now. You have Janice Marshall on Justice Court Department 3 running for election because running for re-election. She was elected when she won the election against Tony Abetangelo. Okay, I didn't support Janice Marshall. I didn't support anybody then was running against what I was under the impression that was my friend Tony Abetangelo. And I think she made a mistake by running against Tony Abetangelo, because Tony Abetangelo is one of the worst attorneys I ever seen in my whole life, and he would have been better sticking in there in the justice court and let it play the game like every other judge, and don't hurt anybody else. But anyway, right now she's running. She won the election. She's running, and now David Thomas, the guy who controls every judge in that regional justice center, is putting the daughter of Tom Leticia to run against her. People, we need to keep Janice Marshall. You know that I'm telling you that I believe that we should get new faces in every other. Clark County is running 4 county commissioners running for re-election. We need to get them out of there. Out, period, completely. But we cannot let another judge controlled by David Thomas. That's a dangerous when one man can control every single judge in this town. We need to get rid of everybody that belong to David Thomas. And this is what you need to do. We need to get rid of Eric Johnson, a U.S. attorney, a prosecutor married to another judge that is controlled by David Thomas, Susan Johnson. We need to get these people out of office. What are you waiting? What are you expecting if you get one single SOB running the whole courthouse? What do you think is going to happen? This guy is going to be dangerous to the community. He's going to control the justice in this town. What are you waiting for to wake up? And I'm not talking about Steve Dempsey's wake-up call. I'm talking about wake up people in Nevada. We cannot allow David Thomas to run. You know, Judge Ramsey is running against Eric Johnson. I'd rather have Judge Ramsey than Eric Johnson. Then he also use another name. When he was a prosecutor, he was Eric Johnson. And now he is, what's the first name? Luis or something? I don't know what his first name is, but now Eric is supposed to be a nickname, which I call him an alias. Everybody in this town then it has a different name. The police call him an alias, AKA. You know, and that's the way it is. If you are somebody, it's a nickname. If you are nobody, you are an alias. You know, every time I see a woman get arrested because she used her married name before or after the arrest, or before she was married or after she was divorced, you know, they said, Mary Smith, also known as Mary Jones. Why? Why? That is not an alias. Or I don't know, let me ask Steve Dempsey what he said about that. He's an expert on the law. Steve, is that an alias or not? Are you on the clock?
Well, it's an
now?
also known
Are you on
as.
the clock now, or you still in the break?
It's also known as AKA. Anything's that. If you're known as something else, that's an AKA.
Yeah, but they don't use that with people that they want to kiss their butts.
Yeah.
Huh?
I would say it definitely has the propensity to cast aspersions towards the person. They're trying to allege that, there may be some kind of impropriety
so
going on
AKA
here,
is a dispersion in and of itself.
Well, I kind of think so.
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
They
also
normally
known.
use it in the criminal dictionary.
Right. Well, that's where it comes up most often.
In any country, when you say alias, you know, AKA, it's normally is in the criminal world, right or not?
Definitely.
Yeah, more than any
and
place
that's
else.
why when I refer to Sheriff Doug Gillespie, I said also known as Douglas Gillespie, also known as Sheriff Gillespie. I write it every time, even if I take a space out of my column. I give them the alias that they have, because they want to act like we are the criminals. Then we gonna turn back and make them.
Gotta fight fire with fire, I guess.
That's all. That's all. But people, every time somebody come over here and complain about some injustice, and they say, I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want to, then don't come here. Don't come here. That's the way it is.
Well, you can't be free if you aren't willing to cause trouble. If you expect something, freedom, and you expect them to remain stupid, you expect something that has never been and will never be. That's a quote from, I think, from Benjamin Franklin. We had to stand up. That's what Donald Trump. That's what I said first thing that I came across Donald Trump. I wanted to think about it before I formed an opinion of any sort. But people are always in a hurry. Oh, what do you think about Donald Trump? Well, my initial reaction was about what I was going there. Even if nothing comes of Donald Trump, he's going to teach Americans an important lesson. Stand up and be heard. That's what this radio station's all about. When you listen to Clark's show, you can't be quiet and expect things to change.
Well, most of the candidates running this day and age in this particular election cycle would probably never have brought up illegal aliens, probably would have never brought up
never
the wall,
a million years.
Never brought up half the stuff that we're talking about, or 90%, if it wasn't for Donald Trump.
He controlled the entire discussion.
Yep. And now everybody is kind of like falling in a line, talking about things they never would have talked about because they have to.
And that's
the people are demanding
That's
it.
another thing that I think we need to. The Court of Appeal should be dismissed, should be completely taken out. First of all, let me tell you, I always believe that if we have good judges in district court or in justice court or in muni court or vice versa, muni court, justice court, district court, we don't need a court of appeals. And if those judges that come from district court are going to judge their co-workers, because that's all they are, co-workers, what is the use to have a court of appeal? They're going to agree with this is an insult to the intelligence of the human being.
Their job is to uphold the law, the Constitution, and they have a propensity to protect the judges that have made these phony baloney rulings that are not constitutional. They have a propensity to protect the judge.
Of course. It's
not of course. That has to go.
It's food stamps for the intelligentsia.
Well, that's why the appeal court has no credibility.
Exactly. And that's why
and
people have to speak up.
The judiciary has an F rating now. So how is this appellate court?
They got up to F? Great.
Yeah. So what comes after F? What is the grade below F? I don't know. But the appellate court is making their grade worse.
Over here. F what?
F the appellate court.
I thought you was going to use that F.
F minus. F minus. That's as low as you
Appellate
can
court's
go.
supposed to take some of the burden away from the Supreme Court because they're so busy straightening out bad decisions from the lower courts, and now you have the appellate court making a worse decision of them all.
You know what we need? We need accountability. That's what causes all of this problem.
The discipline board.
No, definitely not.
Because
not
that's
with
just
the
a bunch
current
of
political hacks on that.
Yeah.
And now because the appeal court, they're gonna spend millions of dollars in a new building.
Hey, they got a blank check.
It wasn't going to cost anything for this appellate court. Remember? It's kind of like Obamacare was going to save us $2,500 apiece. Wasn't going to cost anything.
Oh, sorry, we got to raise taxes.
Yeah. Well, it's not a tax. When that was pushed through, it was not a tax. The Supreme Court made it a tax.
It's just some of your extra money that they need.
Right. So everything that goes around comes around. Well, the appellate court now is necessitating the construction of what, a $4 million? How many $1 million is that building supposed to be?
I forgot.
Why do we need that in a recession? This economy's not good. It's about to crash again.
You know,
this time I think it'll be going to be worse than a recession.
Well, there are those that think it's going to be even worse than that. We're in a war, and we're going to lose this war, and we may lose our country and may lose our freedom, folks. It's time for you to get involved if you're concerned.
I tell you one thing.
Tell people about the Las Vegas Tribune. Tell people about Radio Tribune as quick as you can. Make it that's your job. You can do that. You can mention this show to one person a day. I guarantee you you may have a small sphere of influence, but try to do one. Start with one a week, and then until you get the hang of it.
And I tell you one thing: I am not going to blame the system anymore. I'm not going to blame
us.
The judges. I'm not going to blame the Supreme Court. Nothing like that. I blame the people of Nevada.
There you go.
And allow them to do that stuff. Allow them to abuse them, to use the whip on us, and we allow them to do it. We allow them to do it. What are you waiting for?
It's called the Stockholm Syndrome. That was the subject of my show yesterday. People love their persecutor. How did Patricia Hearst, who was kidnapped, a wealthy
socialite,
newspaper heiress, kidnapped by a terrorist group. How did she start participating with these individuals in bank robberies? Because people learn in a traumatic situation to love their oppressors. You have to break that programming, folks. If you love these people stealing your money,
is that what ISIS? Was she kidnapped by ISIS?
It could have been. Could have been. Maybe.
Wasn't that the Liberation Army?
Yeah, it was a government front organization. Sure,
the same thing with a different name.
It was people that were picking up checks as CIA operatives.
You know, it's the same thing that happened with government. It's the same thing. It's the same president with a different name.
It's
the same mentality.
It's crisis creation. And when was the last time, Clark or Rolando, I'd like to answer me this question. When was the last time the government solved a problem?
The government is the problem.
Right.
How do you answer that, Clark?
Well, I'm thinking. I'm like
there was a pause there.
Interviewees with Jesse Walter on the street. They asked me a question: what has Hillary Clinton accomplished? And I'm thinking, because I can't think.
And you're still thinking. Yeah.
I can't think what the government's accomplished. So I have those birds going off in my head. Tweet, 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 tweet. I'm just thinking. It's gonna take a while. Tune in next week, and I'll give you my answer. I'll do some research. See if I can find something that the government solved.
I don't know.
I think, you know what we did? I remember now, when we dropped one bomb on Hiroshima or Nagasaki, whichever one was first, that solved the problem. And then when we dropped the other one, that really solved the problem. The war was over. We dropped two bombs and the war was over.
Right.
The government solved that problem.
Well, that's why I said...
But why did they create it?
That's why I said when I was...
I remember Japan bombed Pearl Harbor with their...
They definitely did.
So
after Roosevelt had our
it.
ships stay in port, this has been released in the last 20 or 30 years.
Did he fly the Jap Zeros there?
The code had been broken. We knew the attack was coming. Roosevelt had our ships stay in port to make sure that enough deaths and sinkings occurred to get America into World War II. It was a frame-up, folks.
Well,
it was an inside job by your government.
Because you're saying Roosevelt made us get into the war by that little incident, and then we stopped the war by dropping two bombs. So it was a step. That was step number one.
Yeah.
Step number two was dropping the bombs that ended the war. Maybe the war would still be going on today if Roosevelt hadn't set up our military to take a hit.
The war is going on today by the
another
people that
war.
want to destroy this country.
Okay, well...
Through debt.
Maybe it's a setup so we can drop a bomb on the Mideast and wipe them out forever. They've been fighting for thousands of years. Let's end the war.
Let's let them keep fighting until they kill each other.
We'll kill them. We'll drop the bomb and be done with it.
We'll kill all of them. Okay.
Right, and then we'll watch the desert glow.
But if you guys keep talking crazy like that, we're going to give them a reason to say that we are radicals.
They say it anyway. Let's give them the reason.
In 1961, I was interviewed interview by somebody in Miami, and I told them, I said the best way to finish with Castro is to throw 2 bombs in Cuba and clean the whole country.
There you go.
And that's it. No more Castro, no more Che Guevara, no more, no more.
Who dropped the bombs? Truman?
What?
Who dropped the bombs on
Cuba?
Japan?
I don't know.
I'm not
that was
sure.
before my time.
I'm tell you the truth. I'm not.
That's
sure.
what they always said.
I think it was true.
Okay, now we got what? We got 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
I can see that clock.
3.5 to be exact.
Channel 8 is in a fight with Cox Communication. People, we need to move out of Cox Communication. They've been bullying us since the 70s when Brian Greenspan and his father Hank built that cable TV, Prime Cable or whatever was the name. I forgot now. But we need to stop Cox Communication. They want to do everything they want to control. They've been bullying us by controlling Channel 2, Channel 4, and with the help of the government, of course, with the help of the government, because public radio and public television, public is public for the public, and the city and the county have taken over the stations and don't give anybody else, they don't agree with them, they don't kiss their ass, the opportunity to express their voice. We need to stop that. The people that can afford cable TV cannot listen to the city county meetings because they don't belong to Cox Communication. We need to stop that, move to anything else. Maybe in the 1970s, we didn't have any choice. Prime Cable was the only cable company in town. I remember when Brian Greenspan sitting in my house was telling me how great it was going to be. No commercials, no nothing. And now it become a voice for the government, a brainwash instrument for the government. We need to stop that. We need to move to DirecTV.
We need more competition.
We need more competition. That's all. Move out of Cox Cable. And it has been happening. It was been happening. I learned from somebody that I was talking today that they only 40% of the market now. Cox Communication only got 40%.
Dropping like a rock. Huh?
Yeah, and we need to do that. We need to show them that we are not going to take it anymore. We're not going to take it anymore. And that's the way it is. I'm mad like hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow in the radio. Mr. Producer, you can take over now.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Don't forget.
That only took an hour.
Don't forget that Ed Williams is going to be here at 2 o'clock on the herd.
Right.
Ed Williams, the Clark County chairman of the
and we need to hear what he has to say.
And don't forget about the wake-up call. They'll be on next.
Yeah, the wake-up call is next.
He's going to wake you up for the herd.
It's been here for the last half an hour.
Trying to get you.
Thank you. Okay, I need the call-in number. I've got a guest calling in.
Well, there's no call-in number at the moment.
Well, I hope there's one by kickoff time.